So Trump and Elon are fighting like a bunch of little babies again, but I just want to remind you, it is all a script. It feels so forced, and it is clearly a script. They do certain things to push the narrative a certain way so that they can make certain things happen. This is how you truly control the minds of the masses and where the narrative goes, but not only the narrative, because the narrative is just the story or it's just the perspectives of how people are looking at it. They're actually doing this stuff to make shifts, real changes, okay? I personally believe that they are using artificial intelligence, extremely intelligent models with the use of the United States data. Imagine how much data the United States has on how the public acts, how certain things will go with the public, all the money data, all the social data, everything. Imagine loading that into a large language model like an AI that can query all of that data that no one else has, right? And then making and asking questions of it, like, how do we get here? Okay, this is where they want to go. The AI will tell them things to do to get there, right? There's also this aspect to the Trump and Elon fight where basically Elon is wanting to cleanse his reputation again a little bit. So he's doing a cleanse, right? They're cleansing his reputation. I also believe that Trump was like the chosen one to bring us in. He's the only one that could have done it. He's the only one that could have brought us into the age of AI, because these next 3 years are going to be like you've never seen, like insane. And I find myself saying that every year, but it's just true, right? So these next 3 years are going to be absolute insanity in terms of the financial system and AI, okay? And like goods and services and like economic explosion, okay? There's like two sides here. There's the side that wants to convince you that we're going into financial hell, like everything will get very bad. Then there's the other side, which understands the productivity growth that will come from AI. And like you've got people on stage like Elon Musk saying that any good or service that you can ever imagine will be done for you and you can have it on command. He's talking about universal basic income is going to be universal high income, right? Not basic income, not your basic needs. It's going to be universal high income. You will live in abundance. So like there's these two sides. And I think the media side and the political side wants to convince you that it's going to be more of hell. But then there are the people who are studying AI who know that it's going to be heaven, okay? And it's a huge divide and it all comes back to who's willing to put in the work. It's the same thing, right? I used to think AI might enable this for everyone, but I don't think it will. That'll take longer. It could enable it for everyone. It should. Maybe not third world countries and stuff, but you still have to put in the effort, right? You still have to put in the effort to get this faster, basically. If you want this reality of pure abundance faster, you need to put in the effort. Ultimately, I think you're going to continue to see how much of just a puppet Trump is, right? There are certain things, he's just there to do this job. He's just the man they chose, over the other one. And that was my thinking too, right? We're literally from Canada, bro. We can't even vote in the United States election. But in that previous election where it was Kamala versus Trump, Megan and I were on Trump's side, right? And that's obvious. You're choosing the lesser of two evils, right? I just knew that Trump's the only one that would actually work for what's coming. Like, he's just the only one, right? And I don't like any of these guys. I don't like any politician. You're an idiot if you're a politician. Like, you're just an idiot, right? You're just playing in a game of stupidity. It's just dumb. It's not natural. It's really dumb. And my political stance is truth and common sense, right? Whatever gets people the most happiest, truly, helps people, builds convenience and productivity and abundance for everyone. That's it. Like, And you should make decisions in favor of that all the time. And I do agree with Elon on multiplanetary and actually trying to expand where humans can live. But yeah, all the little stuff in between, like this is the most I've ever paid attention to politics, and it's so not worth it, bro. It is so not worth it. I miss the days of 2020 where I would put up the middle finger to these politics. But that recent election really got me paying attention. And now I realize it's just not worth it. There's no savior, right? Trump is not the savior. Dude, I've been tweeting like crazy about this too, because it's just like, damn, you're about to see how puppet Trump really is, okay? You're about to see it. And yeah, if you ever thought he was like a savior, no, he's just the guy they chose to do the job. Same thing as Mark Carney, right? For Canada. Mark Carney is simply the guy they brought in. Oh, we've got this job to do with Canada. Someone's trying to take it over. Someone's trying to colonize Canada and absorb it. Who are we going to call? Oh, get that Mark Carney guy. Bring him in. He's going to beat Pierre easily. Get him in here. He's the one who holds certain secrets. We know he's trustworthy. He doesn't spill them. He loves his little, hundreds of millions of dollars. He's cool with that. He's cool with shutting up. He won't talk. Bring Mark Carney in. Little, minion for Trump. Trump already owns Canada, bro. Just because Mark Carney's in, Trump owns Canada. I hope you know that. Like that, he basically controls Canada too, right? He's got you so emotional about what he's doing. So Trump's just the guy for the job, and just don't fall into the trap, bro. Life is way better when you don't care about politics. I know a lot of you have to care about politics, right? Because it affects your job or something and your income and your taxes. But I'm always on the side of just work hard enough to where you don't care what taxes you pay. Work hard enough to where you don't have to care about the egg prices in the grocery store. That will always be the side I'm on, because that's how I am, right? There's nothing you can do to me that's going to stop me from winning and working and just beating all odds and beating all circumstance. And, everyone should have that mindset. One other thing, if you made it this far, shout out to you, man. Like, comment something. Let's comment charged up. So I'm looking at this charging cord right here. Comment charged up, and we'll see who really watches to the end. One other thing, please start studying AI. That's my main advice. Study AI, not like the terms and all that boring stuff, but get using some of these things. If you aren't using AI on a daily basis, you will fall behind. Like for a certain period of time, like I said, there will be a gap, a huge gap, where part of society is extremely rich, extremely abundant. Certain miserable people will start hating them even more because they live life like a king, right? What AI is going to do is allow more people to live like kings and queens, where everything is on demand, and that's a dangerous society too, right? This is so complex. This whole thing is like just insane. Like it truly is a new age, like a new era. But start getting on these. Get on GPT, get on Grok, start looking at the capabilities. Better yet, start building something apart from your job, right? My main thing has always been come home from work and work some more, bro, until it outbalances, right? It's going to outbalance your job. When I was working a regular job, I was coming home working more until my side hustle replaced my main hustle. But shout out to you if you watched all of this, bro.